Yes.
Would you cover it?
Okay, Rabbi, good morning. Boker Tov to everybody. We're dedicating the shiur Leilul Nishmat Devorah Fege Bat Shemuel in honor of Devorah Bat Shemuel Aleim Shalom. You know, the Gemara writes, Kol mitabel al Yerushalayim zoche v'roe b'simchata. Whoever is having avilut, feels the mourning about the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash, he will have the merit to see the happiness and the building of the Beit HaMikdash very soon. Rabotai, more a person is mitabel, more a person is mourning, more a person will have the zechut to enjoy whenever Borei Olam will be bringing the Mashiach. One of the main questions that we have in the Talmud, there are some questions that after 120, each one of us, we're going to have it. One of the questions is, Nasata v'natata be'emunah, did you have good businesses? Kavata aitim leTorah, did you have fixed time to learn Torah? One of the questions is, Tzipita liyeshua. You were hoping for Yeshua, for Mashiach's arrival or not? Rabbi, let's be honest, putting the hand in our heart, how hard is that question, Tzipita liyeshua? I'm going to explain myself. What's mitzapeh? What's to hope? To look forward. To look forward is, example, now kids went out from school, right? Before the end of the school, so the kids are happy that the school is going to have an end. Ketinoka boreach min bet hasefer. So the kid is waiting and he's hoping when it's going to be done, when the vacation are going to start, right? And the kid, is already calculating how many days we have left before the end of the school. And the day itself comes and he wakes up the earliest ever. The father doesn't have even to wake him up. He's already up. Last day of school. And the last minute, the last hour from class, everybody's looking at the watch already. Rabotai, this is called tzipita. This is called to hope. Tzipita liyeshua. The question is not if we were thinking about Mashiach. No, that's not the question after 120. The question is how much we hope for Mashiach. How much we were waiting for him. How many times the concept of Mashiach was in our heads, not only when there is problems. And the question is, two questions. Question number one is, why we're supposed to give so much importance about mourning? We should never know when a person passed away. So we have a whole process. Shiva, it's the most strict ones. After Shiva, we have Shloshim, the 30. After Shloshim, we have 11 months, 12. And after Askara, once a year. More the time pass, less mourning there is. The random thing over here is that every single year, we come to this time of the year, and the things are becoming even, it's the opposite. We start Yud Zayin Tammuz, fine, some restrictions. We get to Rosh Chodesh Av, more restrictions. You get to Shavua Shechalbo, the week, Tisha B'Av, and then Tisha B'Av, from Chatzot, we start changing the 10th of Av, and yalla, going home, acting normal. What is the whole concept over here by Tisha B'Av? Rabotai, I saw a beautiful explanation. There are three main averot that we saw throughout history that because of those averot, until today we're suffering from Tisha B'Av. Just before I tell you what are the three averot, I just want you to feel and to understand why we're supposed to be sad those days. Someone over here saw the Beit HaMikdash in his life? No one. You want me to learn about something that I never knew? There is a famous story, mashal, I don't know if it happened, not happened. There was a couple that got married. And this couple didn't have children for years. Finally, they were doing all type of treatments. And the woman gets pregnant. The happiness and the emotions and everything is going well. The day of the delivery, the mother is going to the hospital, and the doctors come out from the room, and they say to the husband, "We have a very delicate news for you. Very delicate news. The news is that your wife, she's half-half. One, she have an option to leave, but if she will leave, the child will die. And there is a second option that the child will leave, but the mother will die. So you tell us what to do." Obviously, the husband said there is no question. I mean, no kids, but he wants his wife. But then the wife, when she heard that, she started to say, "No way. We waited so long, so many years to get a child, and that's our last opportunity." She wants the child. And they're discussing what to do, what not to do. Rabotai, she decided, and that's what happened. She decided that she's going to give her life for that baby. To make the long story short, we know that the baby grows up. The father, the same day of the birth, is the same day of the avelut of his wife. Brit Milah is the day right after the end of Shiv'ah. Very sad story. The kid continued growing, and the father obviously takes him every single year to the cemetery. When he starts to grow and he starts to understand, the father explained him who was his mother, how great she was, what she gave. She gave her life for the kid. And Rabotai, at the end of the story, the kid grows up and grows up. He gets to the age of 15, 16. And one of those yortzeit, the kid, starts to come late to the yortzeit. He doesn't give so much importance. And the father gets sad, gets upset. One of those yortzeit that the kid was already not even coming, the father asked him, "Why are you not coming? Why are you not coming after all the effort that your mother did?" And the answer of the kid was, "Daddy, I don't understand. I never saw her. I never met her." The same thing happened with us. And the question is, how can we feel the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash? What's the key? I think, Rabotai, the key is one thing. The reason of the destruction, the reason of this exile is only one. Look at the issues around us every single day. How many news do we hear? Only yesterday, finishing this shiur, you open up the news right away. One boy, 18 years old, 19 years old, being kidnapped and stabbed. Lo aleinu. What about the family? How many people, they're getting sick one after the other? How many troubles? How many suffering? And Rabotai, all this is because there is no Shekhinah with us. So we're not crying about the Beit HaMikdash, we're crying about ourselves. But here I would like to give the chidush. The main averot that Am Yisrael did, all of them are connected in one thing. We start with the Meraglim, the spies that they spoke negative about the land of Israel, and we know that the reason why they spoke negative was because only one thing. What was it? They knew the day that they will enter to the land of Israel, they will not have any more comforts. They will have to work. Their status is not going to be so important. They're not going to be so Hashuvim in Am Yisrael, they decided we're not entering to the land of Israel. Then, first Beit HaMikdash, the Gemara asks, Al ma harva haaretz? Why the Beit HaMikdash got destroyed? Says the Gemara, Al ozva me torati, they left my Torah. Asks the Gemara, what? They didn't learn Torah? We know that they learned Torah, like never in the history. Says the Gemara, no, they learned. But shelo birchu b'Torah techila. They didn't say the berachot of Birkot Torah before. Because of that you destroyed the Beit HaMikdash? The answer is, not saying a beracha, it's not enjoying from it. When you're thirsty and you take the cup and you say shehakol niya bidvaro, you're hoping to drink. It's Birkot HaNehenim, you're saying a beracha because you want to enjoy from it. Birkot Torah wasn't something of joy. And the last thing, sinat chinam. Rabotai, if we look inside deepness, we're going to find that there is one common denominator in these three scenarios. What is it? Instead of thinking about Borei Olam and someone else, you're being selfish and you're thinking only about your interest. So if we understand, Rabotai, that's the main reason of the destruction. Being selfish. And when a person is being selfish, there is no place when you don't give space to Borei Olam cannot come. Let me just tell you the following story. I heard in Mamash very recent. You know, there was a fellow that had an event. I think the event was a wedding of his daughter, something like that. So he was preparing for the wedding, and all of a sudden, he gets a phone call from one of his family members. And he tells him, you cannot do the wedding at that date. So why not? No, because we have, we have a bat mitzvah, I don't know what do we have. And if you're going to do the wedding, people are not going to come to our simcha. So listen, it's a wedding. It's not a bat mitzvah. It's, you can do it at home. Here is a wedding. And I already have everything set. No, we don't want you to do the wedding now. Listen. Rabotai, true story, this fellow decided to do the following action. He said, instead of thinking of myself, instead of being jealous, I will put those interests to the side. He decided to push the wedding. He called up the hall. He asked if it's possible to push it. They pushed the wedding for a few days after. They push everything. Rabotai, the day that were supposed to be the wedding in Israel, I don't know if you were aware, a month ago, something like that, there was a whole balagan with the Ethiopians, and they started to block streets and making a balagan in Israel. He said, where they decided to stop the streets, to block the streets, one of the main places in that city was the street of the halls. All the halls, all the weddings, and it was a night. He said, listen what happened. That same day that was supposed to be the wedding of my daughter was the first day of the Afghanat, the first day that all the Ethiopians came out. And they blocked up the whole entire city, and no one was able to get to anywhere. And I got saved because of one thing, not being selfish, not thinking about myself. Rabotai, when a person goes out from the box, and instead of thinking about my four walls, you know what? I'm ready to feel the feeling of my fellow. Automatically, there is beracha coming up. I told you this story in the past. I'm going to repeat it because it's an amazing story. I told you the story about this boy that was very hard for him to get shidduchim, to get married. Was a Hasidish boy, and the boy, I'm going to finish quick, and the boy finally gets a shidduch. He goes to the things are going well, and he takes up a minibus, small driver with a large car to put all the family inside and to go to the vort, to the engagement party. They get to the engagement party. There was a whole mahloket in between the families and they had to break the engagement. They never happened. The boy came back that night. It was broken with his family inside the car, and the family were talking terrible about the other family. The boy stopped his parents and he said, please do me a favor. I don't want to talk Lashon Hara. There is no point by thinking bad about somebody else. Do me a favor. The one that is suffering more than anybody else, it's me. Let's keep it that way. That's it. Rabotai, next morning, he wakes up and he gets a phone call from a shadchanit. Listen, I have a shidduch for you. Okay? And they want to meet you as soon as possible. They check it out. Who is it? They go out. The things are going well and they get engaged. And they get married. In the engagement, the father stays up in the engagement party and he says, Rabotai, I want to tell you, I was the driver of that minibus. And when I heard how the boy was ready to forgive about whatever they were doing to him, and to be ready not to talk Lashon Hara, and not to be jealous about somebody else, I said, this shidduch is for my daughter, even though she's much, much younger than the age of the boy. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen.